Every year we say the same thing. The healthiest team wins the comp. Penrith did it, Melbourne did it, the Roosters did it. But what if I told you the Broncos are about to flip it on its head? This could be the first squad premiership in rugby league history. Injuries, suspensions, chaos, and still one win from the big dance. Let's break it down.
Old Skool Broncos!
G'day legends, welcome back to the Old Skool Broncos Podcast, where we look at the Broncos through a fan's eyes, mixing a bit of history, a bit of banter, and hopefully a bit of wisdom along the way. Now, we always talk about momentum in September. We always talk about big plays, referees, even hoodoos. But the truth is, for decades, there's been one big factor that decides who holds the trophy in October, and that's health. The NRL premiers nearly always come from the sides that have the fewest disruptions. But here's the twist. If the Broncos go on to win it this year, it won't be the healthiest premiership in history, it could be the first squad premiership. History shows us premierships usually come down to roster health. Penrith's dynasty, they had a core group that barely missed a game for 5 straight seasons. Melbourne, under Craig Bellamy, always rolled into September with the same spine combination week in, week out. Even the Sharks in 2016, they rode incredibly with a stable 17 players all the way to glory, only minor changes throughout the season. Health equals cohesion. Cohesion equals premierships. That's the formula we've been taught for decades. Now let's look at Brisbane in 2025. We started the year without Ezra Mam, 9 rounds on the sideline thanks to suspension. That's your star 5'8", gone until mid-season. Then the grind of the season sets in. Wear and tear, origin, the usual niggles. And then comes the real body blows. Gosiewski breaks his arm, comes back, then fractures his collarbone. Xavier Willison breaks his forearm, straight in for surgery. Deloise Hoyter wrecks his knee ligaments. In the same game, just weeks out from the finals, Reynolds, Mam and Cobbo all go down together. Then Billy Walters tears his ACL in an epic game. That's his season over. That's not a smooth season. That's a train wreck. Most clubs fall apart under that. And yet, here we are, still alive, and 1 week out from a grand final. So why hasn't it all come crashing down this year? Because this isn't just a team, it's a squad. Michael Maguire's stamp. From the very first day of pre-season, every single player in the top 30 and extended squad was flogged. They were all rock hard fit, no easy rides. The so-called fringe blokes turned up firing. Madge came in to replace Kevin Walters, with the board deciding the team needed a steely edge. And this is exactly what he's delivered. It showed in the 94th minute against Canberra when the boys were still redlining when most players would have given up. Then we look at competition for spots. Madge has put a lot of effort into raising the standards of the extended roster. He has promoted competition for all positions. The wingers have rotated all year, not because of injuries alone, because the pressure from those below were relentless. Same in the forwards. Nobody's jersey was safe, not even Carrigan. He spent a big chunk of the year outside of his beloved 13 jersey because Hetherington was snapping at his heels. Then you have the hooker battle. Hakes, Walters, Hunt, Smoothie and Moser. The depth and quality depth has been immense. Stars under pressure sharpened up. Then, when everything got shaky, big names got better. Reece Walsh, forced to carry more responsibility, started winning games off his boot. Ben Hunt looked 10 years younger guiding us through the tight finishes. Billy Walters and Tulty stepped up when the spotlight landed on them. Adaptability as a strength. Instead of crumbling, the Broncos trained resilience into their DNA. Forced changes early in the season meant by September they were battle hardened. So instead of health being an edge, depth became our superpower. Now, as we head into the preliminary final, it feels like reinforcements marching over the hill. Ezra Mam is back. Adam Reynolds is back. Xavier Willison has been cleared. Yes, Billy Walters is gone with his ACL. Yes, Carrigan sits out suspended. But compared to what we've lived through this year, this is a luxury. The squad suddenly looks strong at exactly the right time. And remember, it's not just us dealing with this stuff. Melbourne Storm have already used 28 players this season. A huge churn, even for Bellamy. Cronulla are missing Cam McInnes to an ACL. Tom Hazelton has been banged up, and KL Iro only just came back from his own issues. Penrith? They aren't the picture of stability anymore. Their dynasty years were built on continuity, but 2025 has been far more unsettled. So while Brisbane might look battered, the reality is the whole competition's patched together. The difference? We've been living in the chaos all season long. So could this be the first true squad premiership? If the Broncos win it all in 2025, it won't read like your classic Penrith or Storm fairy tale. It'll be the first true squad premiership. We've unearthed new players out of necessity, we've reshuffled combinations a dozen times and kept winning. We've shown resilience is more valuable than perfect health. This isn't the fair run of a team that coasted in with the best 17 fresh. It's the story of a squad that copped setback after setback after setback, yet refused to fold. So heading into the prelim, what should fans be watching for? How does our new halves mix work? How do we cover Carrigan's workload in the middle? Can Mam find his rhythm straight away after missing time? And most of all, can the Broncos prove once again that resilience beats health? Legends, if the Broncos go all the way, it won't be the healthiest premiership in history, it'll be the grittiest. It'll be the first squad premiership. And that's old school Brisbane. Backs to the wall, everyone writing us off, and somehow finding a way to win. That's why we love this club. Thanks for tuning in. If you're enjoying these deep dives, hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me in the comments, do you reckon this could be the first ever squad premiership? This is the Old Skool Broncos podcast. Let's go, Broncos.